There's been a special announcement this morning about the Bafana Bafana Class of 96, or simply just the Class of 96, probably the most hallowed team of Bafana Bafana. The reason is simple. The only major trophy that the national team has ever won was won back in 96. I'm talking about the team of Dr. Kumal, of John Moeti, Eric Tinkler, Mark Williams, Andre Arens, and the likes. And our reporter Phila Sixaba is in Sandton this morning, where that announcement has been made. Phila, thank you so much for joining us this morning. What is this announcement?
Yeah, good morning, Benjamin. Thank you very much. Also, I think you also forgot to mention the captain himself, Neil Tovey, who was part of that 1996 AFCON winning side, who captained that side. I think that the most important takeaway from this announcement today was the fact that they're going to be starting off a series of celebrations to honor that class of 1996 that won that AFCON title. They've planned a lot of events next year and a lot of activations next year to honor that class of 96. I'm talking about gala dinners, golf days and the likes, to try and make sure that they try and inspire the next generation of footballers, and not only just footballers but football fans in the country, by using the class and the status of that 1996 AFCON winning side. It's been a special day. The captain himself, Neil Tovey, was in attendance at this announcement and really spoke a lot about how that team operated and how they inspired a generation of the next footballers in the country, but also spoke a lot about the focus of this current generation of Bafana Bafana that are in qualification process for the 2022 Qatar World Cup. So a lot of takeaways from this event, Benjamin, and hopefully those celebrations can inspire the next generation of footballers and football fans in the country.
It's all good and well to start a series of celebrations. We're having gala dinners in honor of these legends who won the AFCON trophy back in 1996, 25 years ago. But a lot of these legends are struggling today. They're not okay. There's just a few who are still okay and live the lives that we know them to live. But what is being done then? So we're just doing a one-day gala dinner. Is there anything about how to help or empower those who have fallen on some hard times?
So I think that the one of the points also from these celebration and this initiative, Benjamin, is for the proceeds from those gala dinners, they're going to be selling tables and a number of golf rounds for the golfing days to try and support some of the family members of that class of 1996. I know that the Shoes of Wisdom Foundation, which is a representative of John Shoes Mushreu, the late John Shoes Mushreu, who was also part of that 1996 World Cup. Some of the proceeds from those gala dinners and those activations are going to help funnel the money into the foundation so that it can distribute to some of those families. I know Neil Tovey spoke about the mother of John Shoes Mushreu, who is going to also be spearheading some of those activations to try and make sure that the proceeds are distributed fairly amongst some of those legends that were involved in that 1996 AFCON winning side. It's a difficult thing, and it's a very difficult topic that you did mention, Benjamin. We've spoken about it many a times about how some of those legends have fallen on hard times and there's very little assistance for them. And I think this initiative and these celebrations are going to go a long way in trying to assist and alleviate some of the pressure that the family members and also some of those legends are living under.
Understand, you mentioned Shoes Mushreu there. I understand a couple of other late, unfortunately, gentlemen who played in that team, the late Sizwe Mtaung and the late Phil Masinga, will also be honored in those celebrations?
Definitely. I think Neil Tovey spoke about it every time that he got an opportunity to speak. He spoke about the late Sizwe Mutaung, the late John Shoes Mushreu, the late Chipa Phil Masinga, Raul Masinga, who were also part of that class of 1996. And he also spoke about the contributions that they made to that squad, particularly for a guy like Raul Chipa Masinga, who not only was part of that 1996 World Cup, but also AFCON winning side, but also scored the crucial goal that qualified Bafana Bafana for its first ever World Cup in France 1998. So a lot of that legacy was being retold by the captain of that side, Neil Tovey, here, and in remembrance. And a lot of those activations next year will be in honor of that fallen trio, to mark the significance of their legacy, of their impact, not only on that side, but also in South African football in general throughout the year. It's a year-long program that they've planned for 2022. They were planning to do it in 2020, but of course in 2021 also the COVID-19 pandemic didn't make that possible. So a lot of the events are planned for 2022, and hopefully COVID-19 by then will let those activities happen flawlessly and not have any interference in that planned calendar and an itinerary for those celebrations. But a lot of what Neil Tovey spoke about today, he didn't forget to mention Sizwe Mutaung, didn't forget to mention John Shoes Mushreu, didn't forget to mention Phil Chipa Masinga, and of course the impact and the contribution that they had on the class of 1996.
As I let you go, Phila, one of the things that those very legends have always lamented is the fact that to this day we still talk about the class of 1996. The Bafana Bafana that we celebrate, that South Africans recognize, is the Bafana Bafana of Dr. Khumalo, Shoes Mushreu, Eric Tinkler, and the likes. As you're talking to them there, do they look at our current football, our current crop of Bafana players trying to qualify desperately for the Qatar World Cup and saying they could potentially be the generation to not wipe out, but to make us forget or have new heroes when it comes to Bafana Bafana?
I think that's the critical question that was posed to Neil Tovey today about, you know, it's all good and well that it's been 25 years since 1996 and the triumph of 1996. But in between that, there hasn't been a lot of that success. And we spoke to him through the lens of him being a previous technical director at the South African Football Association. And he mentioned the fact that, you know, success is always about relationship, and the relationship between the association and the special member, the PSL, has always been a bit disjointed, and that has hindered some of the efforts to try and get some of the success that we've seen in 1996. And I think that's what the critical thing is here, is that he said that if both the association and the PSL are able to sit together around a round table and make sure that relationship is a symbiotic one where both are benefited in very extraordinary ways, then we can still see some of that success. He did mention the fact that you also have to win your home games during a qualifying process, and he was happy to see Bafana Bafana winning some of those home games against Ghana and of course against Ethiopia most recently. So a lot of it has been about making sure that the relationship between SAFA and the association or the PSL has been patched up in accordance.
Phila Sixaba live to us there from Sandton in Johannesburg, where an announcement, or that we now know that will be celebrations of the 25th anniversary of the class of 1996. was being made. Well, we do live in hope that someday soon, Bafana Bafana of today will emulate the class of 1996.